Hello guys, and welcome to a brand new video from me, Pickles Parker Reviews. It has been 2 years since I started making YouTube videos. On August the 1st, 2017 I released my first Welcome to My Channel video, and it's now been 2 years, which I actually only realised fairly recently. It's similar to last year. I actually forgot that I passed that milestone, mainly because on both instances I kind of stopped making videos around that time. 1 year felt enormous last year, 2 years as well. Just feels kind of ridiculous really when you think about it. So thanks for everyone who subscribed, and yeah, here's to 3 years. Yes, similarly as last year, the first video I did after passing 1 year on YouTube was to do with the Joker movie, and now again, video I'm going to do after my 2 year anniversary is going to be a video on the Joker movie, the Joker trailer, the final trailer. But not just that, it's a trailer reaction roundup, so we've got a lot of different trailers. We've got 2 Star Wars trailers as well, because D23 came out, Star Wars just stole the show with The Rise of Skywalker, a special look trailer, and obviously the trailer for the much anticipated Mandalorian, directed by Jon Favreau. Let's talk about the easily my most divisive opinion about these trailers. It's the Joker trailer. Now, everyone seems to be really hyped about this, and I get it. I get why people are excited about this. It's a kind of housey take on a comic book movie. I get why that would excite some people. I get why some people think this looks great, and I can't argue, because the trailer is phenomenal. It's actually very frustrating because the trailers are cut really phenomenally well. It makes it look like a great movie, and if you think about this movie as a movie and you disconnect it from the Joker, you just take this as a movie and a trailer, it looks phenomenal. It looks really good. And that's why I'm conflicted, because the trailer's really good. The movie looks great if you disconnect it from the Joker. But for me, as soon as you connect it with the Joker, it all just starts falling apart. I never wanted a Joker origin movie. There is a video that I made when I first started making YouTube, when the idea was just like put across like a Joker origin movie, and I'm pretty sure I said yeah, I'd be up for it. And I don't know why. I think it was because I kind of really didn't realise what I really liked about the character that much. Now I do. I said it in my review of the first trailer after rewatching The Dark Knight. You know, really thinking about what I like about this character. You know, his origin isn't interesting. You know, the interesting thing about the Joker is not how he snaps, it's that he did snap. You know, what's interesting about the Joker is afterwards, not before. So I don't really think a movie about the Joker before he was the Joker is really that interesting, because there's a reason why they've decided never to delve into his origin before he was the Joker. Like, actually, like what he was like as a person, an in-depth origin story. Only a couple of anecdotes from the Joker that he just kind of blasted off as multiple choice. You know, it's not concrete. You know, we don't know what he was like as the Red Hood before he was the Red Hood. We didn't know what he was like as a comedian fully when in The Killing Joke. You know, we don't know this, and we don't need to know this. This is my thing, is the fact is that this movie doesn't seem like a Joker movie to me, because this isn't the Joker. You know, the Joker isn't the man before, he's the man after. Best thing for me to determine what a good Joker is, for me personally, is what do they stand for? What do they represent? What is their philosophy? And that can usually determine what makes a good Joker. And that's why Heath Ledger works so well. Not just because Heath Ledger himself, the writing team, Christopher Nolan, you know, all those people involved, but they wrote a philosophy for the Joker. And the fact is that that Joker could only work in a film with Batman. You know, that's why the film feels so much like a Joker movie, but it wouldn't work without Batman there, because the thing is, the Joker's philosophy in that movie was, you know, basically everyone's a monster underneath. You know, really, just one bad day can make everyone show their true colours, bring him down to his level. And ultimately that is, you know, even though people say that Heath Ledger's Joker isn't very comic book accurate, that's easily the most comic book accurate thing about the Joker. That's been his thing in The Killing Joke, you know, all it takes is one bad day. So really, Heath Ledger's Joker is very faithful. That's my problem, well, one of my many problems with Jared Leto's Joker. And people might be saying, why the hell are you comparing Jared Leto's Joker to Joaquin Phoenix's Joker? But they both really struggle to actually represent something. And Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, to me, if he had to represent something, shows a mentally ill person, you know, being beaten down by the shit show of a society, and then rising up and, you know, essentially showing people that he's not just a pushover. And, you know, ultimately that's a very interesting try. It's why people are probably so enthralled about this movie, because that's a very interesting idea, and it would always make a very interesting film. But ultimately that's not the Joker to me. And the thing is, that could work with a multitude of villains, as I've said, but that just doesn't feel like the Joker to me. He's not really the sympathetic villain type, you know, because the Joker is easily Batman's evilest villain. You know, he's done some horrible things. He's a rapist, you know, he's a sexual assaulter, he's a murderer, you know, he's a torturer, you know, he's an absolute psychopath, ultimately. But the thing is, you know, you shouldn't try and sympathise with that. And I know sympathetic villains work, and sympathetic villain origin stories work. But they either end with a redemption, or that villain going too far and crossing into the actual villain boundary, where they stop being sympathetic. And the thing is, that only works with a hero, because where is this Joker going to cross over into going too far? He's not. This film feels like a celebration of the Joker, because it's not presenting the Joker as a villain. It's presenting the Joker as an anti-hero. Someone who's rising up against the shit show of a society, and rising up, probably taking down Thomas Wayne, you know, Robert De Niro, taking down him. You know, ultimately, that's very much an anti-hero. It's essentially doing the right thing, just going about it the wrong way. The Joker's not an anti-hero. We shouldn't be thinking he's doing the right thing, just the wrong way. We should be thinking he's doing the wrong thing. And essentially, this film feels like Heath Ledger's philosophy of the Joker coming true. And I just can't get behind that, because this Joker only works with Batman there, you know. But I just don't see, because everyone in this world feels like a dick. And, you know, the Joker's not going to go too far if everyone in this world is so unlikable. Like, maybe he'll go kill Zazie Beetz' character. Maybe that will be his breaking point. But ultimately, it doesn't look like they're going to do this. They're going to make him a flawed hero, an anti-hero, and that's just not the Joker. It's honestly kind of a character assassination of the character to me. And people might say, well, you know, it's not the classic comic book version of the Joker, and it's not trying to be. But I could argue that neither is Jared Leto's version trying to be the classic Joker. Doesn't mean that it's not unfaithful and bullshit, you know? I think that Joaquin Phoenix is a brilliant actor, but he's not playing the Joker in this movie. His delivery, like, throughout the trailer, is great. But then the ending scene where he's like,
when you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
The delivery was just off for me. I know I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but it just, like, you know, just call him the Joker. I feel that just works a lot more. Like, you know, if he was like, when you introduce me, can you call me Joker? Or something like that, or some emphasis on Joker, but he was just like, can you call me Joker? And it just reminds me of in Batman and Robin, where Batman's like,
Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman.
You know what I mean? Like, this just doesn't feel like the character to me. And I get that maybe that's not the point. Maybe I'm missing the point of this film. But people are like, oh, it's a character study. But ultimately, if the character isn't recognisable as the character, it's not going to be a very faithful study, is it? There are pros to this. I think the idea works so well if you disconnect the Joker. I think the trailer is actually really put together. The first half of the trailer I actually really like. I like the first scene where he's like entertaining that child.
Can you please stop bothering my kid?
Sorry.
You know, the good thing is you can see it from both sides, because, you know, he is just entertaining that child. You can see Clay relates to children more than he relates to adults. But then the woman might think he's a paedophile or a nonce or something. You know, like, it's very easy. You'd understand, you know, her reaction. Ultimately, I don't see enough of that in the trailer. I don't see enough of the kind of on both sides kind of thing that I kind of think this movie needs. It just seems like everyone's a dick, and, you know, if everyone's a dick, you're gonna want the Joker to rise up. Just side note, the Joker's clearly gonna kill Thomas Wayne in this movie, and I just worry, because we all know the only way Thomas Wayne can ever die is in that alleyway being gunned down with Martha Wayne and with young Bruce witnessing it all. And I can't believe it looks like they are going down the make the Joker kill Batman's parents thing. And I don't care if they're not going to continue this universe. Like, why even do that? That makes no sense. And it's just stupid. Why do you need to bond the Joker and Batman in such an artificial way? Bruce Wayne shouldn't grow up wanting to take down the Joker. The Joker shouldn't exist before Batman. The Joker should be a reaction to Batman. The counter. I just think this movie gets so many things wrong. As a movie, it looks pretty good. As a Joker movie, it just feels like a completely different character. And then, all of a sudden, they thought, oh, this might not make much money, and just put the Joker name on it. It's what it feels like to me, and it's like, that could be a great movie. But if you're trying to make this a good Joker movie, this isn't the way to go. I don't want to sympathise with the Joker, I don't want to sympathise with an utter sociopath. And this is just what this trailer shows. I don't know, this trailer is... It just makes me so conflicted, because as a film fan, I want to love it. But as a Joker fan, I just can't, because it's just not the character. And I get a lot of people are going to disagree, but I mean, I want to like it. I'm not going into this film wanting to hate it, but everything I see from this trailer, from a Joker standpoint, just sets off alarm bells that this is just going to be, like, you know, not the character. And when you've got Joaquin Phoenix saying things like, this film is going to anger comic book fans, just means, like, if you're going to anger people who like the comic book version of the character, then your character probably isn't too faithful. Because the Joker isn't some goofy character that needs to be reinvented. You know, the Joker is such a complex character that's lasted throughout the ages. And, you know, I don't know, it does feel like this was a completely unrelated movie, and WB just thought it would make more money if they slapped the Joker name on it, which it absolutely would, because everyone's going to go see a Joker movie. If this was an unrelated movie, then no one would really... Well, I'm not going to say no one would go see it. Of course people would go see it, but, for example, you wouldn't get me going to see this movie in theatres if it wasn't a Joker movie. Making the Joker some sort of anti-hero is just an assassination of the character for me. I just don't like what they're doing to this character. But in terms of a review of the trailer, disconnecting the Joker, it looks great. The music, the tone. I love the shot where that guy is in the car driving past, he has the clown mask on.
Even really existed. But I do.
It looks like a great trailer for a great film if you disconnect the Joker. But when you put in the Joker, it just all starts falling apart for me. And I get that I'm going to get some hate for this, but ultimately, you know, I'm just not excited for this Joker movie. But I'm excited for this movie. I'm very conflicted. I said that in my previous trailer. I'm very conflicted. And I am conflicted now. Because the film fan in me wants to love it, but the Joker fan in me can't help but hate it, if that makes any sense. Yeah, we've focused on this trailer far too long. Let's move on to Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Now, D23, you know, Star Wars just, you know, stole the show. You know, there was a few Marvel tidbits, you know, that I will cover. But ultimately, Disney stole the show with the Mandalorian trailer, Ewan McGregor freaking returning as Obi-Wan, and if you want to know my thoughts about that, hell yeah, brother. Also, the Rise of Skywalker D23 special look trailer, and once again, it relies on a lot of nostalgia. And I said in my first trailer that I think you're doing The Force Awakens, you put a lot of nostalgia in that trailer, reminding us how good Star Wars was. But now in here, it feels like they went so wrong with The Last Jedi that they're just trying to clinch hold of that nostalgia. Like, please, you remember Star Wars. You remember how good Star Wars was, please. And, you know, I love Star Wars. It's very nostalgic. It's actually put together very well. All these trailers are put together really well. This is the thing. I want a bit more than just nostalgia. I said in my other trailer, I think I'm glad that a movie like this is trying to surprise you and makes you want to go into it vague. And making it all vague. I like that, but I think the problem is you could have done that if there was a clear direction at the end of The Last Jedi. As there isn't, I just feel that we're not really, you know, I don't know what's going to happen in this movie, and all it seems in the trailer is me seeing nostalgic footage of Star Wars, comprised very well, may I add. And just some cool shots of lightsaber duels, and some epic music, some great cinematography, and seeing old characters like 3PO and Chewie there, and Billy D. Williams as Lando. And that's all cool, but ultimately I want to see a bit more of the plot, because I'm going in, you know, just thinking, yeah, it's a Star Wars movie, I expected this from a Star Wars movie, you know. What makes this different? What makes this great? I get if the movie wants to surprise you, but you know, like I said, just after the end of The Last Jedi, I just wanted a bit more plot in my trailer, and it just doesn't seem like we're getting that in these Star Wars trailers. But ultimately, it may pay off. It may, you know, all these surprises may actually benefit the film and make me, you know, very happy that it wasn't, you know, spoiled for me. You know, that might be good. But just talking about it from a trailer standpoint, having not watched the film yet, you know, having not known if this surprise stuff will pay off, it just makes me very skeptical, because I haven't seen anything that makes me want to go see it other than it's a Star Wars movie, I guess. About certain points in this trailer, you know, like I said, it's lovely to see Chewie and C-3PO clearly getting a bigger role in this movie. That's very nice. I like Luke's little voiceover. I hope we see him as a Force Ghost. Emperor Palpatine looks great. You see his hear his voice. Sorry, I don't know what I was going on about that, but he sounds great. The lightsaber duels look epic, as I said. It seems like we're going to get another Death Star. I hope not, maybe. I know maybe they will do it because they're closing out of the saga, but I'm not too bothered about that. If they do it, they do it, but I would have preferred if they hadn't done it. Know that the Emperor's just a patsy. Kylo is just a patsy, right? We all know who's been behind it, not just behind this film. Not just behind this sequel trilogy, but behind the whole saga. C-3PO. The greatest twist in cinematic history. C-3PO was evil and behind it the whole time. Damn! That is epic. Seriousness, like, what is it with those C-3PO red eyes? Like, you know, I'm pretty sure it's probably just to sell action figures. He's not going to turn evil. See, the big thing is evil Rey. And as I said, Disney were keeping this trailer purposely vague, purposely trying to, you know, make you go in and have surprises for you. And this, obviously, is a bit of a juxtaposition towards that, because then we've got something that seems like such a spoiler that would be like, why would you put it in this trailer? And that's the thing, it makes it too obvious that this just isn't true. Rey is not going to turn evil. This is going to be in a vision or a dream or something like that. It would be an awful move. If they're going to do it, you should have put hints in The Last Jedi that she could turn evil and make this a kind of like true arc. But they didn't do that. They kept Rey good, and ultimately then making her bad in this movie would kind of ruin the film, because it would be too late in the day because you haven't properly established this. So it wouldn't make work from a narrative standpoint, but ultimately if Disney were going to do this, that would be the biggest surprise of all. Why would they put this in this trailer when they've been keeping the rest of it so vague? It's so obvious to me that this is going to be a fake spoiler, and I kind of hope it is, to be honest. But it's like, this is just like the only thing they put in this trailer that surprised me. And honestly, I just wanted a bit more plot info in it. But ultimately, if the movie's great, I won't care. So now we move on to the next Star Wars trailer, the one that people seem to be more hyped for the release of rather than the Rise of Skywalker teaser, was The Mandalorian, the Jon Favreau directed TV series focusing on the Mandalorians that will air in November time on Disney+. Now, I made a video a little while back saying basically, I'm not hyped for the Mandalorian, why does anyone care if it's not Boba Fett or Jango Fett, this is pointless, was basically what I said in this video to summarise it. And I was very wrong, because as the time has gone on, I have actually gained a bit of hype for this TV show. And mainly, I think, you know, it seems like a cool concept for a TV show, exploring a side of the Star Wars world that we very rarely see or get a focus on. And it's very interesting to see in this trailer, certainly a more bleak and dark and gritty, you know, realm of Star Wars. But ultimately, I kind of like that. I kind of like that we're seeing something different from the Star Wars world, as opposed to the same kind of Jedi fighting Sith kind of thing. Not me saying that I want the movies to be dark and gritty. I don't at all. I think that the Star Wars tone that they've established ever since A New Hope, basically, is the perfect tone to go for a Star Wars movie. But I just think when you're doing a project that isn't, you know, a mainline Star Wars movie, you know, it's very nice to maybe explore, you know, different themes and a different tone that you wouldn't usually get in a Star Wars movie. And essentially, this is very similar to the Rise of Skywalker teaser, maybe even more, you know, vague. You know, all this really is some really cool music, epic music, to be honest. Really good music for the trailer. And basically loads of like location shots and just random shots that we don't know where they're really going to come in to play. Just random cool looking shots. And I must say, actually, the budget looks like it's a Star Wars movie. You can't tell that this was a TV show. The budget looks the same, which is actually very impressive, to be honest. I know it's Disney, so, you know, they have all the money in the world. But, yeah, it does look very convincing. But, you know, it's just kind of location shots, random shots that aren't really piecing together a plot at all. And it's very similar to the Rise of Skywalker, but I think this actually does it a lot more effectively, because it establishes more of a tone for this than the Rise of Skywalker does. The Rise of Skywalker is just like, here's Star Wars, you know, plain and simply. Whereas this is like, it establishes a dark and gritty world, a dark and gritty tone for this, and kind of the life of a bounty hunter we see. And there's some cool shots. The bounty hunters look freaking cool, man. You see that guy, the main Mandalorian, like, chopping that guy's body in half for a door. Like, what the hell? You see all those like stormtrooper helmets on blooming spears. It's like, Jesus Christ, this is certainly a different area of the Star Wars world. But one that I'm actually very happy for. And I mean, we see that guy frozen in carbonite, you know, as much, like, that guy's Boba Fett. Like, I might just be dreaming here. And I mean, it's not like it's going to make the show any worse if it's not Boba Fett. But this guy has to be an earlier version of Boba Fett, surely. You know, like, what other Mandalorian freezes guys in carbonite? You know, maybe just be a coincidence, but ultimately it has to be Boba Fett, surely. This trailer does basically everything the Rise of Skywalker kind of failed at, done right. It has the kind of vague, kind of unrelated footage, but it actually has us tell something about the product in terms of the tone and the atmosphere and, you know, the characters in the world, rather than the Rise of Skywalker just kind of randomly going through and saying, this is Star Wars, plain and simply. You know, and it's actually got me really excited. The direction looks great, the cinematography looks great, the music seems great, the themes look great, the tone looks great, the world looks great, you know, really convincing, the action looks great, and I'm honestly just very hyped for this Mandalorian TV show. Maybe even more hyped than the Rise of Skywalker, because I have a little bit more faith in this show than the conclusion to the whole saga, as mad as that may seem. Yes, those are all the trailers. You know, the Joker final trailer, you know, the Rise of Skywalker second trailer, and the Mandalorian trailer. I don't usually do trailers for TV shows if it's not Doctor Who, but ultimately, you know, it's Star Wars, and it just got me so pumped that I just couldn't talk about it, to be honest. But, yeah, those were the trailers. What did you think of them? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I imagine I'm going to get a lot of hate for the Joker, my thoughts on the Joker trailer, so I'm awaiting for all that hate. Whatever you thought of that, about it, positive or negative, whether it aligned with my opinion or not, put it down in the comment section below. But thank you guys for watching this extra long trailer reaction roundup. And a goodbye. I'm so happy.